Alright, Schlockmeister fans, another re-review from my previous channel, otherwise known as Bay of Blood. It's Twitch of the Death Nerve. What a cool title. Let's check it out. This is the Countess being attacked by an assailant and choking to death. And this is her husband, Filippo, the assailant. Moments later, Filippo gets stabbed and killed also by an unknown assailant. Frank and Laura.
He's disappeared. They're willing to accept the theory that she killed herself.
They want that property.
Obviously.
A suicide note was left, but we clearly know it wasn't a suicide by the Countess. The guy on the right is Simon, the Countess's son.
Yeah, he's dead all right, but at least I eat my squid. But I don't kill as a hobby like you do.
Meanwhile, 4 teenagers decide to show up at the residence where the murders took place. They'll get there eventually. They get to the property and basically have their way with the place. As they dance, they're watched. One of them decides to go skinny dipping outside because, well, why not? The rest of them break into the main residence, and clearly someone's outside stalking around. The skinny dipper gets the rope tied around her leg while she's out there, which is attached to a dead body of the guy who killed his wife. Once she finds that body in the water, she leaps out of there, goes for help, but doesn't make it. Neither does this guy. Reminiscent of Friday the 13th, years later. This is Renata, Filippo's illegitimate daughter.
Mr. Fasadi, I'm Filippo Donati's daughter.
The guy who killed his wife.
I'd like to have some information about my father.
Of course, Filippo Donati's sudden disappearance threw a very peculiar light on our dear Federica's death.
Suicide, police call.
What a farce. Simon is the offspring of her secret affair.
But who is this Simon?
Oh, the fellow who lives here in the shack on the bay.
Well, Renata and her husband confront Simon, and he's found Filippo's body.
All right, Simon, talk and make it quick.
And a squid. Inside the house, the rest of the bodies are found. She then gets attacked, but she gets the upper hand.
Kidding?
What did you expect me to do? There's no time to lose now, Albert. I'll explain later. Hurry before he calls the police.
So he witnessed Renata kill Mr. Ventura, so her husband's gonna kill him. Everybody's killing everybody in this movie. When the strangled man's wife finds this body of Ventura, well, she's next.
Are you crazy?
Really, I killed her.
Those two could have saved their lives if they had minded their own business. At least now there are no witnesses.
Frank's girl Laura shows up.
Frank!
Guess he's still alive.
Oh my God, what happened?
She finds Simon.
You finally came back to the bay, huh?
What do you mean?
You and Ventura convinced Donati to murder my mother.
What?
A flashback.
That's a page from this diary. Her suicide note will be found near the body. Donati eventually becomes owner of the bay.
Those
You murdered
No, no, Simon.
And now I'll kill you.
No, you don't know what
I'll
you're saying.
kill you.
Simon eventually gets the upper hand and strangles her.
Keep out of sight.
How can I? I don't have the money.
I may be able to help you out there. If you sign a statement where you sell the property on
Well, Simon does sign over everything, and then shortly after, Albert takes care of him. So you look for the documents.
You've got to find that document. I really never thought you had it in you.
well, that's the least I can do for my family.
But let's hurry. We've got to clear out.
And then an unexpected scene. Their son had a shotgun which he thought was a toy.
You're good at playing dead, aren't they?
All right, let's talk about Mario Bava's Twitch of the Death Nerve. This is a movie that I originally had on a VHS tape way back in the day, in the late 80s, very late 80s, under the title Bay of Blood. I rented it, actually a friend of mine rented it, and got a copy of it. And we'd seen the ad for this movie several times on previous other things that we'd copied before. So anyway, we were at least a little bit familiar with it. It's a giallo Italian horror movie, slasher movie. And it's had a lot of influence over a lot of 80s horror movies like Friday the 13th and My Bloody Valentine, all those, because it shows, first of all, it's very violent. Some very good gore scenes in this movie, especially like that axe or whatever that was that went through that guy's head. And of course, the harpoon through both of the people who were making love, which has been done a few other times in some Friday the 13th movies as well. But overall, the plot here, we have, it's kind of all over the place. We have this old woman who gets killed by her husband, and then the husband gets killed, who ultimately we find out is by his stepson, the woman's son. He doesn't, I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess he does know that he had killed his mother. And then we have this couple, Frank and I can't remember the woman's name, Laura, I guess it was, who are real estate people who want to buy this property, and they guess conspired with, they were going to conspire with the father who killed the wife there, so they could buy this property because it was all in her name, I guess. And then later on, they're going to conspire with the son. And meanwhile, there's these 4 teenagers who are just wandering around and end up breaking into the house one day, and then they get killed off by the son quite violently. Really for no reason, just to, I guess, add to the plot or add to the running time of this movie. None of that actually needed to belong in this film, but nonetheless, it happened. And then there's all just kinds of strangeness going back and forth with who's doing what, and ultimately pretty much everybody dies in this movie with the exception of the real estate people. They end up strangling and killing a couple other people because they want this property bad, and they get Simon to sign it over to them. They think he has control of the property. Renata, the illegitimate daughter of Filippo, the guy who originally killed his wife, shows up too. Everybody ends up dead. She ends up getting strangled or killed as well. And then ultimately they kill Simon after he signs the papers over. And then the couple, Laura and Frank, go back to their house. They're all happy. Everything went just as they planned. And out of nowhere, their son shows up with a shotgun and shoots them and kills them. Now, their son is like a kid, like 8 years old or something. He thought it was a toy gun. He looks to his sister and says something like, "Boy, they really play dead good, don't they?" And then they go off and play in the bay. That's our movie, and it's a very strange ending. But I enjoyed this movie today better than I have the previous times I've seen it. The only issue is I think I need to watch this movie multiple times in a short amount of time just so I can grasp all the characters and who's doing what, because there's just, one person kills somebody, and then that person gets killed, and then that person gets killed by somebody else. It's just like a chain reaction that goes in this movie, full of deaths. But like I said, the gore scenes are pretty good. There wasn't, I guess, one nude scene, the woman who was skinny dipping for no particular reason whatsoever, which was awesome. Full frontal nudity there if you're into that, and I know you are. But yeah, that's it. And I got this DVD as Twitch of the Death Nerve on the Mario Bava collection. I believe Arrow, I think it's Arrow, has released a Blu-ray under the title of Bay of Blood. That's out there too. I wouldn't mind picking that up at some time also. But anyway, you can't go wrong with this movie. I think it's pretty good. And like I said, it's pretty influential, and people seem to respect this film quite a bit. Although I don't think it's as good as some people like to think it is, but it ain't bad. So anyway, that's it. Twitch of the Death Knell, otherwise known as Bay of Blood. I'll leave a link if you're looking for it down below. Let me know what you think about it and leave some comments. Bay of Blood. Watch it. Bye.